your God power. Get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. 10 days after Wright's first carbamazine treatment, he left the hospital and was, as far as his doctors could tell, cancer-free. When he had entered the hospital, he had needed an oxygen mask to breathe, but when he left, he was well enough to fly his own plane at 12,000 feet with no discomfort. Wright remained well for about 2 months, but then articles began to appear asserting that carbamazine actually had no effect on cancer of the lymph nodes. Wright, who was rigidly logical and scientific in his thinking, became very depressed, suffered a relapse, and was readmitted to the hospital. This time his physician decided to try an experiment. He told Wright that carbamazine was every bit as effective as it had seemed, but that some of the initial supplies of the drug had deteriorated during shipping. He explained, however, that he had a new highly concentrated version of the drug and could treat Wright with it. Of course, the physician did not have a new version of the drug and intended to inject Wright with plain water. To create the proper atmosphere, he went through an elaborate procedure before injecting Wright with the placebo, the water. Again, the results were dramatic. Tumor masses melted, chest fluid vanished, and Wright was quickly back on his feet and feeling great. Okay, let's take a look at this illustration. This is the normal illustration. Now, when we say normal reality, that just means what we would normally expect with normal meanings. Now, normally, you have the physical meaning of the person's body, a normal human body. Then you have the physical meaning of the disease present, which was huge tumors, masses. They were, it was disgusting. They were the size of oranges. Okay? And then he had the physical meaning of medicine that was injected. But the normal reality, what was really going on was the medicine was water. He was only injected with water. Because as it turned out, the carbamazine wasn't even effective. So it might as well have been water. It turned out that it wasn't working at all. It wasn't real medicine. The only reason why it was working is the guy had a placebo effect. But in the normal reality, you have the meaning of disease present, which is cancer to the nth degree, full-blown cancer. And then you have the physical meaning of injecting medicine, which turns out to be water. And what do? You get no cure. You can't get a cure from water. So the patient dies. That's normal reality. The patient would die. You have the physical meaning of the person. You have the meaning of disease and advanced stages of cancer. You have the medicine, which is water. Inject water. The medicine is just water. What happens? The patient dies quickly. That's the normal reality. Okay? But you got God power by belief. He really believed in this medicine. He believed in it because his doctor told him that this was a highly concentrated version of it. Now, he believed in it in the first place because apparently he had done some research on it and read about it and probably saw some great studies on it. And because any new medicine usually has great studies, because when it first comes out, people believe in it. And so, because they believe in it, it's the placebo effect working, not the medicine. So he believed in it. His doctor told him this was super duper medicine, highly concentrated, when really it was just water. So we start out with the physical meaning of the person. That's the same. Physical meaning of the disease. That's the same. Advanced cancer that had spread. In the physical meaning of injecting medicine, that's the same. Something was injected. But now you have the thought medicine, the thought meaning that this medicine is a miracle cure, that it's highly concentrated, that it's really strong, that it's really powerful stuff. when it was just water. But he thinks it's a miracle cure, so what happens? He gets cured. The cancer goes away. The cancer is defeated by an injection of water. But the water had a meaning. What was the meaning? The meaning was it was a miracle cure. So even though its real physical properties was water, its meaning properties was it was a miracle cure. And since meaning is the only thing that counts, it is the only thing that counts. Meaning. Since the meaning was a cure, what happened? The physical result is he got cured. Because of the meaning. It was the meaning that cured him, not the water. We saw in a prior example where there was an actual operation that was actually successful. That was the physical properties. That was the real physical properties, was a successful operation. But the guy had a meaning that this operation couldn't be successful, that he was going to die from the throat cancer. So he had a meaning for the operation as, it's not successful, it's not going to work, I'm going to die. So even though the real physical properties were a real operation that was really, truly successful for real, the meaning was it was not successful and wasn't going to help. So what happened? He died. Because you go by the meaning. In this case, the real properties was water. But the meaning was, this is going to work. This is a cure. So what happens? He gets cured. Here it says in the green area, good meanings have been activated and are being elicited from the situation. You see the guy's got a green tuning fork. He's got belief. He's feeling good. I'm going to be cured. I'm going to be healed. What the doctor's injecting in me is going to take care of the cancer. So what happens? Take a look. The green tuning forks are vibrating. They're being elicited into action. Whatever those are, whatever the body needs to do to heal, he's eliciting from the body. Whatever has to happen is happening. Whatever has to happen is being elicited. Whatever has to happen is happening. Why? Because of meaning. The meaning he gave the injection. Was it the physical properties of what was injected? No. It was water. That's it. It was water. Now we see that there's red tuning forks here, but they're not being activated. Whatever those things are not going to be good. Some of those things may be spreading of the cancer. Some of those things may be leaking more fluid or actually dying. He's not eliciting those. He's not activating those. He doesn't have a meaning that resonates with those. So they're dormant. He has a meaning that resonates with health and getting better and being cured. And so that's what he's eliciting from the situation. Here it says, the green tuning fork vibrations are positive meanings, and they resonate and elicit all the things that will make him better. That's what he's eliciting. And here it says, the red tuning fork vibrations are negative meanings, and they resonate and elicit all the things that will make him worse. Now, he was better before, right? But then he started hearing that the medicine wasn't any good. So what happened? His thoughts had changed, hadn't they? And he elicited cancer again. That's why he's back in this situation. But, fortunately, the doctor was thinking. The doctor realized what was going on, and he told the guy, this is a miracle cure, and sure enough, it was. Not because of the properties, but because of the meaning. Okay.
To continue, go to How to Use Your God Power, Chapter number 1, Segment number 9. Let your quest for knowing continue.